Commission, who is the first respondent in this matter, conducted the elections for Mandera North constituency, where the petitioner, Baldad Mohammed Farah, and the third respondent, Abdurahi Bashir Sheikh, contested for the seat of Member of National Assembly. The constituency returning officer declared the results of the elections as follows. Abdurahi Bashir Sheikh, 9,214 votes. Ali Abdi Mohammed, 4,425 votes. Baldad Mohammed Farah, 6,999 votes. Dahir Bashir Ahmed, 339 votes. Harim Hussein Ashiro, 2,618 votes. Total valid votes, 23,595. Total rejected votes, 98. The third respondent, who emerged the winner, was accordingly declared as the duly elected Member of National Assembly for Mandera North constituency by the returning officer, the second respondent hearing. Before this court is the petition filed by the petitioner, which is dated 2nd September 2022, challenging the results announced by the second respondent. The gravamen of the petition is that the elections for the Member of National Assembly for Mandera North constituency were not held in compliance with the standards, rules, and regulations, and were not free and fair, which is contrary to the principles outlined under Article 81 of the Constitution and Section 39 of the Elections Act and regulations made thereunder. The background. The petitioner herein was one of the 5 candidates who filed for the position of Member of National Assembly for Mandera North constituency in the contested elections. He vied for the same seat on a Jubilee party ticket. On the other hand, Mr. Abdurahi Bashir Sheikh, the third respondent herein, who was also contesting for the same seat, sought for his re-election on a United Democratic Party, UDM, ticket, having already served 1 term as the Member of Parliament for Mandera North constituency, by the aforementioned petition that is dated 2nd of September 2022. The petition was supported by the affidavits of the petitioner and 12 of his witnesses, sworn respectively by the witnesses on the even date, that is on 2nd of September 2022, read by Learned Counsel Mr. Kamwaro and Mr. Kere. The petitioner's case. In a total of 8 witnesses, and they all adopted their respective witness affidavits as their evidence and gave their testimonies in support of the allegations propounded by the petitioner. Annual registers. According to him, the voter turnout was quite high in the areas where the manual registers were used for the voter identification system. Intertwined with the above contention was the claim that there was irregular ballot marking and stuffing, and it is the petitioner's argument that the failure to use scheme kits in some polling stations was intended to facilitate double voting and ballot stuffing, of unilaterally altering certain polling stations and moving election materials to other polling stations. In his petition, the petitioner alleged that the counting of ballot papers in respect to the polling stations at Shirshir Primary School were shifted to another location, and thereafter the agents of the candidates of the parties were denied access to Kodogo Nursery School, were moved to different locations without communicating to the parties, and as such, no single voter was registered registered to vote in the same polling stations on the elections day voted. In addition, the petitioner affirmed that in all the polling stations of Mandera North constituency, there was voter bribery and undue influence instigated by the third respondent and aided by various presiding officers. The first and second, the presiding officers of the first and second respondents. It is the petitioner's contention that agents of the third respondent would approach voters who were queuing to vote and give them a card, which was referred to throughout the trial as call-based card, together with Kenya shillings 1,000. According to this allegation, is the allegation of the use of the call-based card to bribe and unduly influence voters. The allegation that there was an operation of voter ferrying to various polling stations. It is the petitioner's contention that in most of the third respondents' strongholds, there was an active operation of ferrying voters to and from various polling stations. He asserts that this operation was well calculated, that the said voters will be picked up from various towns or town centers by the buses hired by the third respondent, given cash as well as call-based card, and taken to their respective polling stations where they were registered as voters. After voting, the petitioner alleges that the same voters would return to the buses and would be required to show that they still held on to the said call-based card. The results of the Mandera North constituency parliamentary elections and seeks the following reliefs. Immediately upon the filing of the petition, the first and second respondents do avail to the custody of the court of all the election materials, including electronic documents, all forms 32A and 35A, all polling station diaries, devices, equipment, all ballot boxes and papers for the Mandera North constituency parliamentary by-election within 48 hours. That immediately upon the filing of this petition, the first and second respondents do produce, avail and allow access for the purpose of inspection and scrutiny all the ballot materials, all forms 32A and 35A, all polling stations diary, that is PSD, as well as the KIMS kits with respect to the Mandera North constituency parliamentary by-election. Respondents to recount, retally, and verify the count of all the polling stations with respect to Mandera North constituency parliamentary election, and declare, if it is evidence that the petitioner has more votes than the third respondent, the petitioner as the duly elected as the Member of Parliament for Mandera North constituency pursuant to Section 80, subsection 4 of the Elections Act. Genuine results recounted, tallied and verified after the scrutiny and forensic audit be and are hereby considered the valid outcome of the Mandera North constituency parliamentary elections. He further seeks a declaration that in the alternatively elected as a Member of Parliament for Mandera North, and the declaration made on 11th August is invalid, null and void ab initio. He also seeks an order that no Parliament for Mandera North, the third respondent be held to have violated Section 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the Election Offences Act. That the third respondent be held to be lacking in personal integrity, character, suitability to hold in pursuant to Article 73 of the Constitution of Kenya. Upon being adjudged guilty, the Director of Public Prosecution should be notified that the third respondent has properly been adjudged guilty of an election offence contrary to Section 9, 10, and 11, and 12 of the Elections Offences Act, and all relevant electoral laws, and that there were no irregularities that affected the results declared by the second respondent. Specifically, it was their assertion that in the few incidences where there were challenges in the use of KIMS kits, the same was due to the quality of network connectivity in the particular areas, and that in those incidences, the presiding officers and clerks followed the law and laid down procedures before resorting to the use of manual registers in the identification of voters. They thus denied that the use of manual registers was reported to in all polling stations in Mandera North constituency. Further, the first and second respondents denied the petitioner's allegations of double voting, ballot stuffing, fraud, and exaggeration of voter turnout or centers as alleged by the petitioner. In denying the allegation that there was unauthorized and illegal access to electoral material granted to the third respondent and or his agents, the first and second respondents claimed that only authorized personnel were allowed access to the election materials. Scrutiny and leak out all the materials listed in the ruling of this court dated of 6th of January 2023. On the issue raised by the petitioner that the logs associated with the KIPS kit were not provided in compliance with the said orders, this court finds that the first and second respondents have given a sufficient reason for not providing any other logs other than the activity logs supplied. Nothing controverts the assertion by the first and second respondents that any other logs other than those provided are to be found in the main server in the offices of the first and second respondent. It thus follows that the scrutiny orders were fully complied with, as the petitioner did not make any request for the scrutiny of the logs in the main server of the first respondent. The parties finally summed up their rightful cases in support and in opposition of the present petition in their respective listed submissions, which I have summarized below. Did a summary of the submissions. The petitioner's submissions. The case by the petitioner against the first and second respondents is that they allegedly failed to comply with the law when it came to the deployment of technology and use of KIPS kits. Forms 32A and Forms 32, Forms 32A and Forms 35 put any new evidential documents at that late stage, and allowing the same would have occasioned great prejudice to the respondents, as it would have denied them the opportunity to test the evidence through cross-examination. However, the petitioner was adamant that he only wished to give the court the copies of the polling station diaries that had been provided by the first respondent and supplied to all the parties, the electoral rolls. And before concluding this judgment, I wish to address the petitioner's contention that politics in Mandera County is based on negotiated democracy that is firmly rooted in clan arrangements. Negotiated democracy is a term widely used in Kenya to refer to the practice of agreeing on how to distribute political position in advance of an election. That proved numerous affirmance, pointing to the possibility that there were illegalities and irregularities. We are of the view that they were not of such magnitude as to affect the final results. In this petition, though the petitioner has pointed out various illegalities and irregularities which were mostly administrative, as pointed out by the first and second respondent, and do not deny the voters a free and fair elections, it is my view that they do not affect the results. The voters in Mandera North constituency were able to go to the polling stations on the 9th of August 2022 and vote for a candidate of their choice in a free, fair, transparent election, devoid of violence. It is considered view that this petition is without merits and is dismissed. I should also consider the issue of costs. It is right that costs follow the event. The same is true for election petitions, as Section 84 of the Elections Act provides as follows. An election court shall award the costs of and incidental to a petition, and such costs shall follow the course. Further, Rule 33 of the Election Petition Rules provides as follows. The court may, at the conclusion of a petition, make an order specifying 1. The total amount of cost payable, the person by and to whom the costs shall be paid. And guided by the above provisions, it follows that the petitioner in this case should bear the costs of the respondents. And these are the final orders. Having found that the parliamentary elections of Mandera North constituency, which were held on 9th of August 2022, were conducted in accordance with the Constitution and the electoral rules, I consequently make the decisions. 1. The petition is hereby dismissed. Number 2, the declaration of election results by the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission in respect of the member of the National Assembly for Mandera North constituency in the elections that was conducted on 9th of August 2022 is hereby affirmed. The respondents are awarded costs capped at Kenya shillings 2.5 million for the first and second respondents, and 2.5 million for the third respondent. And finally, a certificate of this dissemination in accordance with Section 86(1) of the Elections Act 2011 shall issue to the IEBC, the Independent Boundaries and Electoral Commission, and the Speaker of the National Assembly.